So hello everyone, welcome to our today's webinar. My name is Jan. I work as a product manager for Calculoid. I'm here to answer your question about product, about features, and everything about Calculoid application. And now let me introduce Daniel, our product specialist, who show you today webinar's topics and introduce you our new version of Calculoid 2019.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel, I'm the product specialist. Let me welcome you on our webinar Calculoid. And first of all, I want to briefly introduce what we are up to today. So we are going to start with how to design your calculator. I will show you some global settings and conditional fields. After that, we will continue with checkout fields and recurrent payments. Then we will move on to tables and lookup functions. I will show you how to use a CSV table in our calculators with a combination of lookup function in the formula field. After that, I would like to show you how to use Google Analytics with Calculoid and our integrations we have for now, such as Mautic integrations, Redmine based products, and Zapier platform. Okay, so let's start with the design. We have a design tab at the left menu here. If you would click on it, you will go to the global settings for the calculator. We call it global settings because it will influence every particular field in the calculator. And if you'll need to change just one field, you can go to edit field and open the design tab there in the settings for particular field and change the design of the field there. But let's start with the global design. First of all, you can see some basic settings here, such as font, color scheme, background, shadows, calc alignment, and font size. So first of all, let's choose font we want to see in our calculator. Right now it's Times New Roman. There are three different options. It's Ubuntu, Arial, and Times New Roman. Also, as you can see, there is a default option, which means that the font will be taken from the web page where the calculator is embedded. For me, the Arial is the best one, so I'll choose this one. Then you can see the color scheme. It's basically the colors here in the slider, and here in the formula field you can see this orange border. I think that it's not really the best color for us, so I would pick sea green. Also, there is a setting for calculator background color. Right now it's dark green, so it's basically this color here. Let's choose another one. Let's also pick sea green. And here is very important to say that we use the same colors for the color scheme and the calculator background color. However, the colors have different opacity, so that means that it's actually the same color but with different opacity, and it also means that the colors will match each other, which is very important for the design. Okay, so after that you can turn off or turn on the shadows. I don't really think that we need shadows in this calculator, so I would rather turn this off. After that, you can choose the calc alignment, the text of the calculator. Either it's on the left, in the center, or on the right. I prefer it to be centered, so I would choose this option. And after that, you can choose the font size to be small, normal, or large. I think normal is the best way for us, so I would leave this one here. Now we can move on to the advanced settings, and you can see there are quite a few of them. So you can basically change the theme of the calculator, field background color, sizes for calculator name, field name, description, etc. Also, you can change the weight of the font for calculator name, field name, formula font, and so on. After that, you can pick a color for the text, and at the very bottom there are some settings for alignment of the text, so you can choose that you want to be the field name at the left and description in the center. I will show you how to change these settings. So right now we have chosen the font size normal, and I think it's quite presentable. So I would leave these settings here for now. But what I want to change is the calc name font weight, because I think we don't really need it to be that big. So I would change it to just to the normal, or actually maybe no, 500 will be fine. So I would leave it here, right, like now. And I would like to also change the formula font weight to this one, to make it a little bit bigger and more presentable, so you can see the values, the results of the calculations properly. Okay, so I think now our calculator looks pretty good. And the last feature for the design I want to show you today is conditional fields. What does it mean? Here at the bottom we have a field here, you can see it. And what I'm going to show you here is how to set condition to show the field in the settings, in the field settings. So here you can see condition to display field. If you'll click on it, you can see that the condition is set to show this field only when this checkbox is marked. It is a really nice feature for the design, because sometimes, or actually quite often, you don't want to show all the fields, all the calculator to the user at once, and you want to give the user the opportunity to choose whether he wants to be emailed or not, or whether he needs a particular result or not. So it's a really great feature for the design, as I think. Okay, so now I would like to move on to the recurrent payments and billing information. So let's switch to another calculator. Okay, so now let me show you how to set the payment field, and especially billing information and recurrent payments. We have a pricing calculator here, and let's find the payment field, go to edit field, and here among the settings you can see billing information and payment recurrence. I would like to start with the billing information first. So once you open the tab, you can see quite a few settings, but don't be afraid, it's very easy to set. So first of all, we need to decide whether we want to ask the user for billing information or not. Basically, it's just yes or no setting, and if you'll choose no, there will be no billing information, just the email address. After that, we can choose if we want the user to put his phone number or not. And here I want to show you one very important feature. It is pre-filling country calling code by GeoIP, so there is no need for the user to choose which country he or she from, and it will be pre-filled with the GeoIP, and also the country can be pre-filled with this feature. So here is the setting to ask the user for his phone number or not. And after that, you can also choose if you want to allow to make order as a company or not. And basically, if you will choose this to no, there will be just billing information for a person, and no information for the company, and there will be no possibility to order as a company. After that, right below, you can customize any labels you see here. For example, you don't want email to be called email address, but just email, so you can just easily set this to email. After that, there are some settings which allows you to validate the VAT ID, and you can also customize some labels for it. So for example, these signs here. After that, you can choose whether you want to use the GeoIP feature for the country calling code or not, and you can also customize labels for the company order, address, city, zip code, country. Usually it's pretty much the same for everyone, however, you can customize it if you need. After that, you can choose if you want the country to be prefilled by GeoIP, and there are some also settings, some customization for order as a company labels. And at the very bottom of the billing information tab, you can add checkboxes. You can see them here. Usually these are used for terms and conditions and personal data processing. However, you can add any checkbox you want. So you simply press on add new checkbox, write some text in it, and you can also choose a URL address. You can put it here, so when the user will click on the checkbox or at the sign, actually, he will be redirected to the page where you have the data processing regulation terms, or you have terms and conditions or terms of the services. Let's delete this checkbox. We don't really need it here. So it's really easy to set the billing information, and now I would like to show you how to set the payment recurrence, as it is very important. So here you see some basic settings for the recurrence payments, and the first one is a default setting whether you want to use the recurrent payments or not. So if you'll choose no here, then the recurrent payment will be enabled. Yes, it will be enabled. After that, right below, you can see the setting which allows the user to select whether he needs the recurrent payments or not. You need to choose a field from your calculator, and here it is very important to know that a field should return value 1 to enable the recurrent payment. So the best field to use here is a checkbox. You simply add a checkbox to your calculator which says, for example, do you want a recurrent payment or something like that, and set the value for checked checkbox or marked checkbox for 1, and if the user will click on it, then the recurrent payment will be enabled. After that, you need to decide in which units you will calculate the recurrence cycle. It can be either days, weeks, months, or years. This is also a default setting which you can make on your side, and right below it there is a setting which allows the user to select the units. So you also need to choose here a field from your calculator, and this field should contain either days, months, years, or so it should contain the unit for the recurrence cycle. Then you can select how many recurrent periods will go on after the payment is done. So you can choose 1, 2, 3, etc. And below it there is also there is a setting which also allows the user to select the number of recurrent periods which will go on. Here you also need to select a field from the calculator which will represent the number of recurrent periods which will go on after the first payment is done. So this is basically it for our payment field. And now I would like to show you how to use a C-suite table and lookup function in our formula field. So let's switch to another calculator. C-suite tables are really important when you need a calculator with a lot of static data in it. First of all, what we need to do is upload a C-suite table to our calculator, and for this please go to Tables tab in the left menu. Here you're gonna see all the tables uploaded to the calculator. To upload a new one, you simply choose File from your computer and name it. Oops. Here we are. We've just uploaded a new table to the calculator, and now I'm going to show you how to use it with the select field. We don't really need this field in this calculator, however, I'm going to add one just to show you how to work with it. If you'll go to the Edit field, Options, here are two ways how you can add options to the select field, and the first one is manual and the second one is table. Let's choose table. First of all, we need to select table. For us it's name, and then we need to define which column from the table will represent the option name. For us it's product code, and then we need to define which column from the table will represent the option value. For us it's product price. Okay, all set. And now if you'll click on the select field, you'll see plastic and wood as two different options. If you'll use this field in the formula, and for example you'll choose plastic, the field will return this value here, so it's 200. If you'll choose wood, then the field will return this value here, 100. It's very easy to set, and it's really nice to have when you have a lot of options in the select field. You just simply create a table and then add it to the select field. And now let's take a look at our formula and add a lookup function there. So basically what we are calculating here is a frame price based on number of frames, height dimension, width dimension, material, etc. And we are missing here a price for a particular material, and I want to add this with the lookup function. So what we need to do is to multiply the existing formula, multiply by a lookup function, and the lookup function will return us the price for particular material. As you can see, when you press on the lookup function here at the top, it adds the lookup the function with the description you need to make the function work. So first we need to define is lookup value. It is the value we're gonna search in the CSV table. For us, it is value of field material, so I'm gonna delete the lookup value and put here material. After that, we need to define lookup column ID. It is ID of the column where we're gonna search for the value from material field. To find appropriate IDs, you need to open the Tables tab and take a look at the table you are using. Here, right above the table, you're gonna find the column IDs. So it's 0, 1, 2, etc. And here there is a table ID. Let's return to the formula and define our function. So we need to define lookup column ID, and for us it's 0. Then we need to put result column ID, so it's the ID of the column where we'll pick result from. For us it's 2 because for us result is the price. And then we need to define table ID. Let's check our table ID. It's 465. And here you see the new calculation. And the calculation you see here is based on the material we choose. It's either wood or plastic. It is a really strong feature when you require a lot of static data in your calculator, and it is very important to remember that Calculoid works only with tables in CSV UTF-8 format. You can create this one simply with Excel, with a normal Excel. Okay, now I'm gonna show you our Google Analytics and other integrations, so let's switch to the new calculator. Okay, finally we are up to one of the most important features nowadays, the integrations. And first of all, I would like to show you our integration with Google Analytics. We need a payment field for it, so let's find the payment field, go to Edit Field, and here among the tabs you can see Google Analytics. If you would open it, you'll see some basic settings for the Google Analytics events, e-commerce events, and transactions. It's always start with a setting, yes or no setting, if you want to turn it on or off. So it's the same for events, e-commerce events, and transactions. It's always start with yes or no setting. And here it is very important to make sure that you use HTML code to embed the calculator onto your web page, and also it is very important to make sure that you have a file called includeanalytics.js in the same page where you embed the calculator. Otherwise the integration won't work. So it is really important, and please make sure you have all these done. When you set send Google Analytics event to yes, then you can define Google Analytics event category, action, label, and value. And pretty much it is the same for e-commerce event, where you need to define affiliation, transaction revenue, shipping, and tags. And for affiliation, transaction revenue, and the other positions, you can simply choose a field from your calculator, such as here, for example. And it is the same with the transactions. All you need to do is to put appropriate field from your calculator into item name, price, quantity, code, and category. So this is basically it. It is really simple to integrate our calculators with your Google Analytics account and to have all the information from your payment field in your Google Analytics account. Now let's go to the Integrate tab in the left menu, and I'm gonna show you some other integrations we have in our calculators. So as I mentioned in the brief introduction, we have integrations with Mautic, Zapier, Google Analytics, and Redmine based products. We use Redmine for ourselves, and we use Redmine CRM, so we have an integration set for this. There are some basic settings such as URL address, API keys, etc. So as you can see, it's just some basic settings, and it's pretty much easy to have those done. And it is pretty much the same with the Mautic. So it's just basically some settings you need to put in, and that's it. There's no need to code something or something like that. And also in the integrations with CRM, you can also define information from which field you want to see in your CRM. So all the information can be sent straight away to your CRM, and you don't need to open submissions of the calculator or something like that to get all the informations you have. As I mentioned already, we have integration with the Zapier platform. It's a platform for integrations, and it allows us to integrate Calculoid, integrate your calculators with more than 100 applications such as CRMs, CRM systems, I don't know, Google Docs, etc. It's really a huge amount of applications you can integrate with Calculoid, And to integrate Calculoid with Zapier, you just simply need to go to the Zapier website and start using Calculoid now. So you just need to get the early access to Calculoid and to make sure you use the appropriate API key there. Okay, so thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, we are ready to answer it. Me and my colleagues are happy to answer it. So if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Okay, Alexander, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we are there.
Okay, great. So if we wanted to have your company develop a calculator for us, how do we go about that?
You can send us a custom request from our service page. You can write us to support.calculoid.com or to info.calculoid.com. Also, if you would visit our website, there is a chat, as you can see at the right, at the bottom at the right. So any way of communication, just let us know that you want a calculator from us. So, and we'll get back to you and create one for you.
All right, thanks.
Welcome. Okay, so I can see some questions here. Hi, do you have any module function to present currency variation example? I want to give the user to see the value in the currency. We don't have really have the currency thing. However, it is very easy to present the results as a currency. Basically, if we'll take the financial calculations, it's just some basic math, but then you add a sign of a dollar or Great Britain pound or something like that. So it is possible within our platform. We can add any currencies you want. However, if you need some tool to change it online, then I think it's not really what we are up to now. However, we are developing this feature. I hope this answer will suit you. And there is another answer from Aaron Schultz. What is the limit of the total number of available fields within a specific calculator? The limit is 100 for now. However, please mention that usually a calculator has about 50 fields, because more than 50 fields, it won't be presentable really at the web page. Because at 100, it's a huge limit, and it's really hard to make it readable and presentable at the web page, because people don't really want to scroll down. And when you make a really big calculator, it's really hard for the user to walk through it up to the end. There is another question I can see from Murian Oruki. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrect. Have you had any difficulty with customer service due to international time zones? Asking because we're in USA East. Thank you. No, we don't have any issues with different time zones. We work the same for Asia and for America. Usually, the only problem can be in response time, which can be slightly bigger than average because of the time zones. However, we are happy to give you a call at your time zone or organize a meeting in your time zone. I can see a new answer coming on chat. How do you delete a gouge field? It's a really good question, because right now we are facing a small bug with the remove field button at the gouge field. So our developers temporarily hided it, and it will be back on the calculators, I think, in a couple of weeks. And for now, you can hide the field and place it at the very bottom of your calculator, so it doesn't influence the work of your calculator and doesn't appear at your web page.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. I have a fresh news for you, Alex, because Tomorrow will be published new bug fix, so the deleting of gouge will be now available again. So sorry for this inconvenience. It's fixed now and it's ready to set up to production.
I can say thank you, Jan. I didn't get this. I can see a new question coming from Aaron Schultz. In my calc, I have several fields that are hidden that I use for reference. I will probably transit them to a lookup table. It's a good idea, actually. In the meantime, is there a way to make those hidden fields not show on the output of the calc? Actually, you can see the hidden fields. I mean, the blank space where are the hidden fields in the preview mode or in the editor. However, once the calculator embedded, the blank space will be gone. So there will be no blank space for hidden fields on your web page. Okay, something on chat. Let me just read this quickly. Hello, I'm interested in doing calculations based on distance coming from Google Maps. Is this possible, or is such a feature planned? I think Jan is the one who is. I think he's the one to answer these questions because he knows much more about the future development of our product than me. So Jan, if you could please.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. I'll try to answer you. Can you develop the referring calculators on multiple pages? Yeah, definitely we can develop a lot of calculators for every web pages, but one calculator is possible to embed to many pages, and all submissions or payments from these calculators are possible to integrate through the Zapier to some analytical system or CRM system. But yeah, definitely you can copy one calculator. You can create a lot of copies, many copies what you want, and then each copy would be separately embedded to different web pages, so you can collect your leads from different for every web page to a specific calculator, and then all these calculators could be integrated in the one system through the Zapier integration.
Thank you, Jan. And I want to apologize for Lutz's clap because we actually dismissed the question. And the question was, I'm interested in doing calculations based on distance coming from Google Maps. Right now, we are not able, unfortunately, to take the distance from Google Maps. Is this possible, or is it such a feature planned? Right now, we don't have such feature in our plans. However, thank you for your feedback. We will think about this. I think it's a pretty good idea to integrate Google Maps and our Calculoid for some I don't know, for some road map calculations, I guess. Thank you for your question. There are thank you, Liz. And there is one more coming from Sandra. I would like to add a second of this. As far as I can tell, there are only input fields. I'm sorry, let me just walk through it one more time. I didn't really get it from the first. I'm sorry, Sandra. Can you if I got it right? All I can tell you right now.
Maybe I can answer for Daniel because there's some problem with her internet connection, but no problem. So I can see if I have the calculation sets of calculation. I would like to add a second title for the second part of the calculation. How can I do that? Okay, there two ways. For every field, you can, for a formula field where are the results show, you can use a title, the name of the field, and then a description. So you can write some short name and then describe what field it is, what a result field is. Or if you wanna group together these results and then use one title for them, you can easy to use HTML field. It could be displayed on the under these fields, and you can write there your title, and under this HTML field with just the name, the title should be shown all these results in one group.
Okay, thank you, Jan. And as I can see, there are some more questions in the question and answer section. In my calc, I have several fields that are hidden that I use for. Yeah, okay, that was the question. And one more from Rolly Chiresco. I'm sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. Regarding other payment systems, for example, Mercado Pago in Latin America, any plan to add more or possible to integrate through an API? I think it's a question to Jan.
For now, you can pay. We have integrated only just 3 international payment gates. It's a PayPal, then it's a global payment and Stripe. But in our pipeline, we definitely want to increase and add new payment gates. So yeah, thanks for your answer. We definitely want to add more payment gates for every region in the world. So you want to make this product really available for everybody in the world, for every state, and we want to offer you best payment solution. So we are doing on this, and it will be prepared soon. So we let you know. Thanks for your feedback and answer.
Thank you all for your feedback and for your questions. Is there
So is there any question?
To give time, maybe someone is typing right now. Okay, so I can see the new one from Troy Rockman. Thank you. Can you develop different calculators on multiple pages of a website, integrate each calculator as a separate lead based on type of calculator? And will the data collected from the calculator go to an aggregator platform for analyzing user trends? Okay, we can create different calculators and embed it in multiple pages. It can be one calculator embedded into several pages or several calculators embedded to several pages. It doesn't matter really. And all the information from the calculator can be sent through Zapier to any aggregator platform you use. And then once the data is in your platform, you can analyze the users. I hope this answer will suit you.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Troy,
Thank you.
If you need to know more about this, just write us to our support, and we can analyze your needs and help you better with integration or analyze your platform for trends and how to integrate your calculators for this platform. So just let us know. We can help you.
I can see. Okay. Well, you mean that one calculator should send the data to different platforms? It is a question from Troy Rockman, and he's asking.
Right now, no. Every calculator has their own integration to one platform, but many different calculators should be integrated in the same platform. So if you have one calculator on one specific page or website and a copy of this calculator on other site or other page. Both these calculators should have the same integration settings, and they can generate and integrate data to the same platform for global analysis.
Okay, thank you, Jan, and thank you, Troy, for your question. And this is really great feedback. As I can tell it from my side, I've never seen such question before, so it's really great. Thank you very much, Troy. So, is there any other questions? Maybe some feedback? Okay, so let's wait for another minute. Maybe someone already seen it with the Troy. So, well, I guess this is pretty much it with the questions. So, Jan, do you want to add something? Maybe Peter?
No, thank you everybody for attendance on our webinar. Thank for your questions, answers, feedback, and we will see soon, and we'll let you know about new features and about new versions. And tomorrow we will publish a new bug fix, so all bugs what you can see right now should be done.
Okay, thank you very much for everybody that you joined our webinar. Thank you for your questions, for your feedback. It is very important for us to have to see those questions and to get the feedback from you. It helps us to develop our product and to make it better.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for attendance, for help, for discussion, and thank you, everyone. Have a nice day and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye. Have a great day.